Hello there, welcome back to Profneel. It's a pleasure having you here. A Pusa love story, success and failure. Manu Mohindra joined IHM Pusa as my student in 1990. An army brat, he was cherubic and affable. He had two contrasting characteristic traits. He could move the Himalayas if he wanted to. But if he didn't want to move, a mule, a khachar, I like the Indian word khachar, entrenched with its heels in the earth, could learn a lesson or two from on not moving him. Not moving. Nothing could move him then. But he would outfox us with a excuse that would make us smile. Even a martinet like me smile. Such was him. He didn't set any scholastic records. He was decent in academics. His heart was in the kitchens. And he had all the makings of a good chef. Though always in the company of girls, his heart, it seemed, never evinced any interest for the girls that boys at that age have. He was a universal bhaiya. On Raksha Bandhan Day, you could see him spotting Rakhis from shoulder to wrist on both the arms. Logically, he was to pass out in 1993. But do the heavens work according to man's logic? On the eve of the final year, final examinations, disaster struck. He suffered a very serious asthmatic attack. He could not take the exams. He had a history of asthma, we all knew. So I barged into the principal's office knowing that he would be failed just for that one asthma attack after completing 3 years. And this knowing that finally he seeing that I was not digesting his reasons, that it is the system, etc. He advised me to directed me to go up to the Director National Council Studies, the Director Studies National Council. So there I went to her office and I found her as cold as a rock. Again, the same Government of India standard answer, sir, this is Mr. Neelkanth, you realize this is not in the system, re-examination. I said, madam, we are the system, the teachers, you, I, everybody, all of us. Can't we make an exception? In every board, even the board exams, we make an exception. I said, why can't we do it? But that rock didn't move. Finally, I'd accept defeat, retreat to my office, and lick my wounds. Both my elbows on the table, my head clasped in both hands, staring at space, wondering how will I face Manu, for he and all the students had seen me standing up to the National Council. And there would have been expectations. And that is where I was worried about. And there he came in. I didn't know how to face him. And of all the people, he came in quietly, pulled a chair, sat opposite me, and I was almost to the point of into breaking in tears, but I held back my emotions, and I apologized to him, and I held his hand, and I realized that, I remember that I held his hand, and with both my hands, I said, Manu, I'm sorry, I let you down, I could not help you. And there he goes with a smile, sir, don't worry. Think positive. You only teach us to think positive. Sir, in the first year, if I see they failed me, because see the benefit. First year, I'll be the senior most among everybody. I can rank them in your class also, in your classroom. Bhar to chodo, aapke classroom I'll be ranking them, and you can't do anything about it. So he was like that. Now what do I do but smile? He was like the typical character of Rajesh Khanna in Anand movie. He never showed his wounds, his sorrows. He was hurt, I knew inside it would be hurting anybody, but he didn't want to show it to me of other people. I don't know about other teachers, but when he joined first year, he was allowed to come into my class anytime. He was allowed to bunk. I would grant him attendance because he was spared that exacting standards of discipline that I expected out of the first year students. He was allowed to uses journal that he had written previously for the front office subject. I didn't ask him to write another journal because I could at least be that kind, little bit kind with him. For the system, because I was the system. In 1994, I moved on from Pusa, and we lost touch with each other. And somewhere in 2008, we met each other on social media, and that was just on the eve of my official fortnight tour to Delhi. And of course, he insisted that I come, and knowing, I mean, and as I told you that he could be the most, he could be like a mule. He made sure that I stayed with him. I said, Manu Mohindra, 15 days is too much for a guest. He said, you're not a guest. But when I went there, I realized his success and failure. The heavens had failed him in that one minor academic test for him to be a winner in life. His heart had finally fluttered for a girl who was to pass out in 1996, my student, albeit briefly, a Sikh class, an army brat to boot. But she was more a brat than him. My taekwondo champion, Manu Mohindra, finally met his match. I'm told she held him by the collar and grabbed him by the collar and took him to the nearest Gurudwara or temple, I don't know where, whichever office, signed, and they got married. Beautiful couple, a super combination, made for each other and mad for each other. He still as a mountain, she quick to the sword, almost like a mountain brook. And Manu Mohindra may well have been an employee all his life, a chef working in the kitchens of some Taj or some Oberoi or some Saror Plaza, singing Cliff Richard's Bachelor Boy. But for Sonia Chaudhary, she kicked his butt, I'm sure, once again, and they started their own enterprise under one roof management hospitality consultants in 1998. Today, worldwide presence, 68 cities over 4 continents. They've commissioned over 1,650 projects, winning awards by the dozen. And Sonia Mohindra is a legend now in the industry. And I'm very proud to say that. I really admire that lady. But why I'm not mentioning Manu Mohindra? Because we all know love stories don't have a fairy tale ending. Every love story ends in a tragedy. And Manu Mohindra passed away, leaving us devastated in 2022. Sonia soldiers on, expanding the footprints of under one roof hospitality management. They have a son, Amar, who's doing engineering working now in Netherlands, and he's done his engineering. Embrace love to enjoy life. Thank you.